Are you ready to discover the terrifying tale of Air India Flight 101? Imagine being stranded above the clouds, running out of time and resources as you fight for survival. This shocking story will have you on the edge of your seat. Don't miss the dramatic retelling of what happened on board Air India Flight 101. Tune in now to find out if the passengers and crew were able to make it out alive. Welcome to Air Crash Investigation, where we delve into the most mysterious and devastating aviation disasters. Get ready to uncover the truth behind some of the most shocking plane crashes in history. From technical malfunctions to human error, we'll examine every angle to find out what happened. So buckle up and join us as we investigate the deadliest skies on Earth. Dev Goswami's Air India 101. Is there anything else you need, from me? Air India 101, is there anything you need from me? An American air traffic controller requested that 2 Indian pilots transport 370 passengers, in addition to themselves, to New York City. We're all right. I sincerely appreciate it. The pilot who spoke up did so. The controller returned with, "You're welcome," adding, I wish there was more I could do for you." The pilot responded with a cheery, thanks, just before his flight was transferred to a different controller for further coordination purposes. After over 18 minutes of ongoing communication between the pilots and the controller, LiveATC.net posted this noticeably peaceful dialogue live. The pilots were in command of a modern Boeing 777-300 passenger airplane, transporting 370 passengers. The plane's most crucial instruments were no longer functioning. After being forced to abort their landing, or go round in aviation lingo, on September 11th at John F. Kennedy International Airport, New York, due to what the pilots described as an unstable approach, they were once again forced to do so. After a failed attempt to land in New York, the pilots of the Air India flight from New Delhi to New York asked the air traffic controllers for permission to take some time and space to work through many difficulties that had arisen during the incident. After a few minutes, the Air India pilots reported an issue with the onboard instrumentation, and they went on to say that they were facing multiple instrument failures. 2 of the flight's 3 radio altimeters, the TCAS system, and the auto land feature were among the instruments that were lost on Air India Flight 101, which was a service that traveled from New Delhi's Indira Gandhi International Airport to New York's John F. Kennedy International Airport and took 15 hours. The TCAS, which stands for Traffic Collision Avoidance System, is essentially an alert that goes out in the cockpits of 2 planes whenever they get too close. However, the primary concern for the pilots of Air India was that they would have had to do a visual landing rather than attempt a regular instrument landing. This was because the systems on their aircraft could not link up with the ground equipment. Thus, they could not risk the standard instrument landing. Nagarjun Dwarakanth, a certified pilot who's also a correspondent for India Today TV, says that an instrument landing enables a pilot to approach a runway without relying on visual cues as much as they normally would. The technology that is installed in airplanes is heavily relied upon by pilots to ensure that their aircraft are appropriately aligned with the runway and that they are descending at the appropriate speed. This ensures that the aircraft lands within a reasonable distance or too close to the end of the runway. Dwarakanth continues by explaining that pilots can bring their aircraft as low as 200 feet above the ground. The Qutub Minar is 240 feet tall for comparison, before they are required to sight the runway with their own eyes during an instrument landing. Pilots can descend even further at airports equipped with cutting-edge landing equipment. However, because their instruments were malfunctioning, the pilots of Air India Flight 101 opted to attempt a visual landing on September 11th, even though they could not utilize their instruments. Despite this, they were successful in landing the plane. According to Dwarakanth, to accomplish this goal, they required clear skies so that they could land their aircraft manually after manually locating the runway. As a result, after notifying air traffic control that they had lost some of their essential instruments, the pilots and the controllers went back and forth, trying to find an alternative airfield with skies clear enough to attempt an instrument landing there. On the other hand, time was running out. Approximately 6 minutes after the initial report of the instrumentation failure, one of the Air India pilots stated, "We are becoming a little low on fuel as well, so we need to make a decision immediately. You know, we're stuck." A few minutes later, the pilot ominously remarked, "And there's no fuel." In the end, the pilots concluded that it would be best to land at Newark Liberty International Airport, which is also in the state of New York. As Air India Flight 101, which was low on fuel and carrying 370 passengers, flew in on a visual approach at Newark, emergency workers were kept on standby in preparation for the aircraft's arrival. As the Air India plane touched down at Newark Airport and made its way to the parking bay, airport controllers sent a message to the airport's emergency personnel, informing them that they did not need assistance. A representative from Air India issued a statement confirming the incident. According to the spokesperson for the airline, Praveen Bhatnagar, who talked with the news agency ANI for the detour in New York, the Flight Safety Department is examining the incident. The pilots of Air India were able to handle the issue to everyone's satisfaction. As we've seen, the crew of Air India Flight 101 faced a harrowing situation when their plane ran out of fuel above the clouds. But thanks to their quick thinking and exceptional skill, they were able to safely land the plane and avoid a disaster. This incident serves as a reminder of the bravery and professionalism of pilots and other aviation professionals, who work tirelessly to keep us safe when we fly. Let's take a moment to appreciate the hard work and dedication of pilots, flight attendants, and everyone else who works to keep us safe in the skies. Thank you for watching Air Crash Investigation. We hope you've enjoyed learning about these incredible and sometimes tragic stories from the world of aviation. Subscribe to our channel and click the notification bell to stay up to date on all our latest episodes. And don't forget to leave us a comment to let us know what you thought of this episode. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you soon at the next one.